He's checking it.
Hey, now we're on here.
Okay. There we go. Let's start it one more time. Good evening and welcome to the Swarmcast, and happy Halloween.
Ooh.
Scared me. One of my favorite holidays. Always has been. Love the spooky stuff. Randy Young and here with Bryce Young, Daddy Dumpling himself,
That's right.
and Jamie Maters over here. Of course, you see they're repping. Got the FSU shirt going on, got the Gator shirt going on, and I still got my Central thing on.
I probably scared everybody away already.
Yeah, me too. Don't worry about it.
And I got the Tech Master Casey Massey back there, making sure everything is working correct. We've got the Florida helmet, the Georgia helmet for Georgia Florida week. Now mine's signed by Herschel Walker, so I'm looking for Steve Spurrier or something.
No,
over
nothing. No,
just.
I've got one that's signed by Kadarius Toney, but that's
Okay,
the
no,
only
that's pretty
signature
good.
I
That's
got.
pretty smart. And
They're great. And most importantly,
ooh,
we got the
Dairy
Blizzard.
Queen, yeah,
Blizzard of the
Silk.
week.
French
Chocolate milk.
And what would you?
It's a chocolate
French silk, right?
French silk.
And what'd you call it before the last time we had it? You said it was very
So good. It's
smooth.
It's pie.
You get that NPR voice this have to say, it's very smooth.
Oh, man, it's so good. Greg and the bunch up
Oh,
there
my
at Dairy
gosh.
Queen, man,
That
I'm
is
telling-
good stuff.
This is my favorite by far. I believe, and I'm all good with the sneaker. I'm all good with the Reese's.
Yeah,
I'm
that is
all
good
good.
stuff.
But
This
this
is
one
good.
is really good.
Yeah, I would hold mine up, but it's empty again, so that's not gonna do no
Casey,
good.
how's
What
yours?
is wrong
It's
with
over
y'all?
there in the trash can.
That didn't take long.
But man, we thanks Dairy Queen so much for sponsoring
Oh,
the
big time.
Sportcast and the live stream.
Absolutely.
Man, they just do a great job up there of taking care of us.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, we had, I wanted to mention this before I forget, you mentioned last week, we had a couple hundred people watching that thing last week when we were playing Houston.
wow.
Yeah. And we appreciate all you folks that aren't able to go, able to watch it online.
They got their money's worth.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
gonna tell you, that was a
Good
good ball game.
Yeah,
That
it
was.
It was an entertaining football game. If you're a football fan, it was fun to watch. I mean, it was fun to call.
Yeah, yeah. You never knew what was gonna happen.
Yeah.
Literally.
I loved it when I looked at Coach Rogers when he was talking to the team, and he told the team, he says, "You say what you want, but we played big boy football tonight," and I just made my hair stand up.
Yeah,
because,
yeah.
You know, it was as good a football game as I've been to in a long time.
Well, you had a team there, I think, with Houston that was a little bit embarrassed over the 14-0 shutout the week before because they hang their hat on their offense now. And the fact that you shut them, or that anybody shut them out, and I know the circumstances, and everybody's talked about the fact that they dropped a half dozen passes. About half of those are going to be touchdown passes. I get all that.
Yep.
But the fact that Coffey was able to shut them out, I think Houston felt like they had a point to prove. And it felt like, and we'll talk about that game first, and then we're going to get into all the playoff scenarios. And
Man, there's a lot.
my gosh. And by the way, Brian Davis, you notice him absent here tonight. He is having a Halloween function with his better half. And so we wish Brian the best and hope that no Hanks or Boogers get him through the course of the night. But we got up 14-0, and I'm thinking we're about to blow them out of here.
Yeah, I thought the same.
And all of a sudden, they hit that quick out over toward the sidelines and hit Isaiah Mitchell, who's the leading receiver in the region. And we had two of our best defensive guys on him. We had Trey Pringle and D. Reddick, but they didn't tackle him. I think they felt like he had stepped out of bounds. And I'll be honest with you, I watched the tape of it in slow motion yesterday, and it looked like his heel was on the line. It absolutely could have been called, but it wasn't. The officials didn't call it dead, and he went 81 yards, and it's 14-7. And not that it totally turned it because we score again.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not here for ifs, ands, or buts, but I mean, you think about it. That was a 3rd and long.
Yep.
That was going to be short. They were going to be punting the ball there. You
Yep.
go down, you get the ball back again, you score and make it 21-0.
Yep.
I don't think it was much. I don't think it would have turned into much of a contest as it was.
Yep.
But hey, that's why we play. That's why the games get played, and it was a good close one.
Yeah, and to their credit, I mean, they kept fighting back. I mean, and it's 21-21 going into the second quarter, and you're thinking, what in the heck is going to happen here? Well, turned out they really kind of controlled the tempo and the speed of the game in the second quarter, but not many points. They got a field goal going in at the half as the time expired, so it's 24-21. But as we have seen so many times with our team under Justin Rogers, the halftime adjustments were spot on, and we outscored them 20-7 from that point on. I want to point something out, though. A.J. Hill, the quarterback from Houston County, if by some chance he's watching this, I just want to tip my cap to you
Absolutely.
Because you played the game that I think all of us have been looking to see for the last couple of years when we played you.
Yep.
And there is no question the arm talent and strength of that young man. He had a pass where he chunked it from about his 17 or so, and their guy caught it at our 23.
And it didn't even look like he threw it.
Just flicked it. Yeah. And all of us went, wait a minute, how'd that happen?
And the maturity level that I seen,
Yep.
we had pressure on him all night.
Oh yeah, he was running.
We
around.
done a great job of getting pressure on him. Now, we didn't do a good job of keeping him in the pocket.
Containing him.
We let him get outside a couple times. But every time I thought we were fixing to get a huge setback for them, he dumped that thing off.
Yep.
How many times he dumped that thing off and
Well, I mean,
so he wouldn't get sacked?
Well, there was
10 times?
Well, there was one time where I thought we had him dead away, and all of a sudden he just lopes out around the right side and goes 35 yards for a touchdown.
Yep.
You know who he played like, has been playing this year in college? He almost looked like Cam Ward, because this year Cam Ward's been doing some crazy stuff. He'll get slung halfway, 15 yards back and then land on 2 feet and end up throwing
He's
a
like the
30-yard
cat
bomb.
that always lands on his feet.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll say hello to my better half, Reese Young, watching, and happy Halloween to you as too. But very big win, though, because that puts us in position now for Coffee County to come in. Now, Houston County, with the loss, is the number 4 team in our region coming into the playoffs. I would not want to be a number 1 team hosting them. I
Heck
don't care who you are. I would not want them coming into my place.
No, sir.
Woo! And Lee County has secured the region championship. So a tip of the cap to the Trojans.
Yep.
They absolutely deserve it, took care of their business, and defeated Lee, or defeated Coffee and us. And now they've got Houston. Now that game, I've been asked several times this week, that game will not affect the region championship, because even if they lose, whoever wins between us and Coffee would have lost to them head-to-head.
Yeah.
So that gives them the region championship. So essentially, tomorrow night, you've got Coffee County coming in, and we're playing for the number 2 and number 3 seeds. Now, go ahead, Jamie.
Yep, that is for your number 3 and number 2 and number 3 seed, and it's going to be a heck of a football game. We need to come and represent. We need to make sure we get this win, because that gets us a home playoff game.
Well, I'm going to throw something at you here.
I know what you're going to throw at me.
No, well, you know,
But you're going to make me throw something at you.
Just don't throw that blizzard at me.
Ain't nothing in there.
Knock me. Well, then throw it at me. It is the first time in the history of our program that 2 defending state champions will have ever played in the Jackets Nest, ever. And you think about that. We were talking about it this afternoon.
That's a lot of games.
You've had 2 Heisman Trophy winners play inside that stadium.
Yep.
With Charlie Ward and Cam Newton. You've had numerous All-Americans.
Oh, man.
Players of the year on offense, defense. Never before have 2 defending state champions played in the Jackets Nest. Now, here's your trivia question. There has been one season where 2 defending state champions played. Thomas County Central was one of them. When was that? I'm not saying.
And we were one of them.
We were one
but
of them.
It didn't happen here.
I can tell you the other team.
It has happened one time, but it did not happen at the Jackets Nest. So
As a defending?
yeah, both defending. So old school guys now, you're probably going to get it. Don't say anything.
I think I know.
And we'll see if any of our faithful listeners.
think I got it.
There's Josie Walden saying, hey, Josie, who's had some pie now. She had some apple pie and some sweet potato pie and some cherry pie, which I'm going to.
Well, let's score what kind of apple pie.
Well,
but
let me say, Josie Walden, who is the czarina of the tailgate show. She takes care of getting the tailgate show done. Somehow or another, with Jaden Rubo and her and I do the football talk stuff. I don't know how it came up, but she shared that she had never had apple pie. She said she'd had pecan pie, but she'd never had apple pie.
well, she's had the best then.
Well, and Casey Massey says he makes the best pecan pie of anybody.
I don't say I make the best.
You can make one.
Didn't he
good.
say that? He said
He said he made the best.
and
It's all about the Cairo syrup.
he said
is.
an award-winning, not the award-winning Yellow Jackets tailgate show, but the award-winning pecan pie. But anyway, we recorded the show Tuesday, and I went and got some little personal pies so that she could try apple pie, and I brought cherry pie, and then I brought sweet potato pie.
Okay.
Now I think
And then you shut her mouth.
Song of the South, but I think of the 3, cherry pie was her favorite. Rubo's was apple. The sweet potato pie was a little too nutmeggy. It had too much spice in it.
Well,
But that's
with
why you have the whipped cream.
But with the cherry,
Yep.
it's got that little tang.
Yeah, it's
With
not
the-
as sweet.
Yeah.
Not as sweet. So anyway, she finally had a chance to get a.
Well,
a
I
sample of
want
it.
to comment right quick on how good a job that all those kids do on that sideline, and I don't know all of them,
Mhm.
but they have the best time.
Well,
They're
yeah, for
always
sure.
in the right spot.
Yep.
They're I know a lot of times I'll be trying to move in to catch the play too,
Mhm.
but I'm always mindful
Mhm.
of them getting those shots because I want those shots.
Mhm.
Right.
But they do a great job, and they donate a lot of their time
Oh yeah.
to go to those games.
Mhm.
And this is, in my opinion, now I've been around a lot of groups of them, and they all do a spectacular job. This one's been my favorite.
Yeah.
They're so witty.
There's a lot of
and
personality.
funny.
There's a lot of personality.
There is a lot of personality.
There's a lot of
with that
personality.
crew.
So I just want I want to tip my cap to them
Yep.
because they do a heck of a job now.
Well, and I'm always been proud that you go to a lot of other stadiums. The only other stadium that we have ever been to where students were running everything was at Marist. Of all the places we've ever been.
Really?
Yep. And the fact that we've got our kids kind of right in the middle of all that, I like that.
I think a lot of times when we show up too, I think it blows those people away. That, what do you mean you got a film crew
Yeah.
coming in and they're all kids from the school?
Yep.
I don't think that a lot of people
No,
have seen that,
yeah.
and I think it's been hard to get some of them in at times because they don't think it's real. But
Well, that's why we have the broadcast production shirts for them, so it
got
kind of
you.
makes it a little more legit. But anyway, compliments to Josie and all of the
Absolutely.
kids. And one of the cool things, and Casey knows this, the experience of them doing those games. One of the things I've always been most proud of that for those young ladies that are a part of it, they're right in the middle of it.
Yep.
I mean, and it's an important part of the game that they are providing.
Yep.
And otherwise, those young ladies would not be there, quite possibly.
That's right.
And the fact that they are a big part of what's happening in Friday nights is very cool.
And they're very smart about what's going on.
Well,
You wouldn't
Yeah, you
think
got
they
to
would
be
be,
down
but
there.
they're
Yep, they
real
learn it.
smart.
They learn
and
it.
They're very aware.
Well, Josie is a very good example. In fact, with her and I and Chris Wilhelm doing the football talk stuff the last couple of years, she has learned, and she'll tell you, she knows the game now. Which again, otherwise, anyway, it's all cool. Good stuff.
They do a
Good
great
stuff.
job.
Back to your trivia. I have no clue.
I got it.
Well, I will tell you that Dan Stewart is close, so we might as well let the cat out.
Okay, let me see what Dan said first.
He said Colquitt County 94.
No, it ain't that. It ain't
But
94, but they got to be defending.
Defending champions.
I think you're on the right path.
But you are very close. I'll go ahead and let the cat out of the bag. 1995. Colquitt County was the 94 champions. Thomas County Central was the 94 champions. We played them over there.
That's right.
And that's the only time that we have ever played where we were a state champion and we were playing a defending state
He
champion.
had the right team.
He was right there on it. Yep, he was right there on it.
But
So,
in 1994, we both won it.
you're right.
Hey,
Right.
So,
guess who we got calling?
Uh-oh, here he goes.
not the madman.
Coach Justin Rogers.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, man?
Man, trick or treat, smell my feet. That's what I'm doing.
Give me something good to eat, dadgummit.
ain't no doubt, man. We out here in that little neighborhood in Gatlin Creek. One of my coaches lives out here, and I underestimated it. There's a crowd out here.
Don't go to Madison Grove. I can flat tell you, you're not going to get in.
I ain't gonna lie to you, that got put on permaban.
I love it.
All right, Coach. Listen, I know you've got trick or treating stuff with your kids. No, I just want to get some comments from you real quick. First off, congratulations on the Houston game, big win there. Sets you up to be able to play for a home playoff game.
Yeah, no doubt. And it was a great game, great win. I mean, that was a quality program. Just really proud of our kids coming out and started off really, really hot. And so really proud of that. And like a good team does, they found a way to get back in the game. And really good how you respond to that, because now that's a whole different response.
Yep.
You get punched in the mouth, how you like it.
Yep.
And so I was really proud of our guys, the way we responded, came out second half and just really cleaned up everything and was able to control the whole second half and come away with a win. So now there's a great win. And now you set yourself up for an opportunity to earn a right to play at home one more time.
And I think you said it best the week before, Coach. It did feel like a playoff game Friday night. It had the atmosphere, the feel of it again, where you've got one team kind of grabbing that momentum, and then the other one punches back. I mean that's going to pay dividends, no question in my mind.
No, there's no doubt, and then you ain't gonna lose that feeling this week either.
No,
I mean, it's
you're
gonna
right.
feel like a playoff game here too, and such great fan bases and programs and tradition. And so, no, I do think the big atmospheres, the quality opponents that we play in this region, will prepare all of our 4 teams that go and go in the playoffs. And I think they'll all do well because the moment won't be too big for them.
Right.
They've been in that moment.
Right. So, what do you see when you look at Coffee County, Coach? Give our fans a scouting report.
Yeah, totally different than Houston. You know, Houston gets their identity off their offense, and they kind of live and die off of that. If the offense is playing well, then the team plays well. Coffee's the other way. Coffee's going to get their identity off their defense. And so when the defense is playing well, the team plays well, and their defense is good. It's a really good defense. And points have been at a premium for the last 2 years with this group. And it's a very mature group. I think they've got 10 seniors that start on defense. And so anytime you get that, that's a different animal. That's a more mature young man. These guys that played in the state championship last year, so they understand it. I think their DC does a phenomenal job in the positions that he puts his guys in. It's very unique. It's based out of a 3-3 stack, but it's hardly ever 3-3 stack. He's always breaking it and bringing people from different angles, and so it's very unique. I'm very impressed with it. And so points will be tough. Now, offensively, they're going to try to play complementary football. And so they're going to run the ball and control the clock and always give themselves. They know that defense are always going to give them a shot, to be in the games. And so they're going to play that field position battle and look for their opportunities to hit big shots. Got a really good running back, 27, and one's good too. But 27 is the bell cow. And they're gonna load 27 up now. They ain't scared to give him a bunch of carries.
Is that Woodgett, Tyrese Woodgett? Is that his name?
I believe that's his name. Yes, sir.
Got right at 1,000 yards. Yeah.
Yeah, he's good back now. He's he's one kind of like Trey Brenton that gets better as the game goes on. If you remember how Trey used to be. Yep. And that's kind of how he is. So you can't lose just because you're corralling him early. You can't lose your focus now because he'll run out of tackles and hurt you late. So it'll be a real physical test for us, real battle for us, but I feel good about it.
And Coach, too, I mean, it's the first time we've been back home in the nest, it feels like in forever.
Yeah, they're definitely. We was in there the first week of October. We're going to be back the first week of November.
Yeah, that's about the truth of it.
Yeah, that is. And so, it's just one of those weird deals, the way the schedule fell with 2 road games and an open week. So you literally played 1 game in October in the nest. So now that'll be exciting, too, getting back to our home crowd.
Yeah, Coach, I think that our crowd will probably be ready. Our fans will be ready to have one of these playoff atmosphere type football games to get us kind of primed up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they're bringing fan buses. And stuff.
But I'll tell you another thing, Coach. I love it when we play teams that buy in and they bring fans. I love it.
Oh, ain't no doubt. Now, that's what we're in here for. And this week, we ain't talking. We talked about offense. We talked about defense. I'm sure we'll talk a little about special teams. But we got to talk about cans versus horns.
That's right.
We got coffee cans. We got their coffee cans. They fill out with rocks and all that versus the horns. And so, Jagged Nation, we can't disappoint now.
Yep. Yeah, we got to get on top.
You doggone right. So they just think they make noise.
Ooh. Yeah, if our crowd brings it, now that's going to be – listen, every team that we have played in one of these atmospheres like this has said that has made a difference, period. Every fan base that we've seen has said it's affected the football game.
It does. And not even – and what I think it affects it, not negative on them as much as it is positive on us.
That's right.
It awakes the giant, which now that affects you playing because of the way that our kids play in those moments. Yep. So that's just my opinion.
Yep. No
brings
question.
up that emotion. If you play with emotion, you're hard to beat.
Ain't no doubt. You got to play passionate with an edge, and that's one thing that I don't think we had maxed out on. That now I feel like the last 3 weeks. I think you've seen us play with a better edge starting in the veterans game.
Yeah, absolutely.
And veterans Northside Hoco, you've seen us play with a different confidence and energy. And so I didn't see that early on. I was a little nervous we were going to get there, but I think we got there now, and you see our guys playing very confidently now.
And having fun. Yeah,
that's that swagger piece. When you're having that, I'm a big Jimmy Johnson fan. I was a Cowboys fan, and obviously growing up in the 90s, we all watched the U and things like that. But there's something to be said about that. That confidence, and the Cowboys had it with Jimmy and that, and his book, which is titled perfectly "Swagger," is a great book. But there's something about that swagger and confidence you gain in the way that you play.
Yep, no question. Coach, go out there and enjoy your kids and have a good night, and we'll see you out there tomorrow night. The place is going to be rocking, man. I'm just looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, I know Gatling Creek's rocking right now. I'm hoping we winding this bad boy down.
Now listen, don't let Cooper get too much chocolate in him, man. He's not going to go to bed till tomorrow morning if he gets too much in him. You know that.
I'm telling you now, Jack Nation needs to put all elementary school teachers on their prayer list tomorrow.
Yes, big time.
Because they got their hands full. They're going to be everybody coming off a sugar high by 9 a.m. And I don't know if they're going to go in withdrawals. I don't know what these teachers are going to do.
They just need to lay them down.
You're right.
They need to start doing teacher work days on the day after this bad boy.
Give everybody naps during the middle of the day to calm them down.
Hey, no
Can we have
doubt,
that for the adults too?
We can do that. We can arrange that for the employees. That's not a bad idea.
That's it, man. It is something other else out here.
All right, Coach. Hey, go enjoy your family, man. Happy Halloween. We'll see you at the Jackets Nest tomorrow night.
All right, go Jackets.
Amen. That's good stuff. Let's thank Dairy Queen one more time.
Yep.
Greg Davis, and I still got about a quarter of mine because I've been running my mouth, but this is a French silk pie, as Jamie would say.
So good.
And it's very smooth, as according to Jamie. And it is good. Very, very good.
It's so yachty.
Like yacht rock in a cup.
Yacht rock. It's yacht rock in a cup.
Okay, so got folks telling me that Westover is leading Cairo 6-0. And, of course, they are playing tonight. Got folks asking about what songs. I have absolutely no idea what songs are in the rotation inside the stadium. I don't have anything to do with that. Hello to Miss Massey, the Mama Massey, and to Kyle, if he is listening. And we're being asked what the steak dinner, what time is steak dinner tomorrow for lunch?
That'll be about 12 o'clock. Absolutely.
Josie says, I've been eating all week. I had some pie, and now I'm having a blizzard. So, yeah, I guess I've been eating a little bit this week. That's all good.
But I'm going to tell you, that steak be right tomorrow.
What time?
About 12 o'clock at Longhorn.
All right, now I want to compliment Brian.
Did you get any updates from like the girls' flag football or anything? Because I've seen that's been out.
Yeah.
I watched. I went out there to help get them their footage stuff set up, and there's some
man. Listen,
there's some talent out there.
They can fly. We lost to Lowndes County in game 1, which was it was interesting. Some of the shots that I saw, I wasn't able to go, but I saw some of the shots from the crowd, and it started before people got off work to be able to go out there. And I was thinking, by the time the night was over with, there was a bunch of folks out there.
That's good.
And,
it was senior night too.
So they lost to Lowndes County 14-12 or something like that. 14-13. And then they played Baker County, who is an established team, and beat them 41-0.
Wow.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yes, that's what I'm saying
I think
too.
I should have stayed for the second game.
Get you some of that, to quote Brian Davis. So, yeah, the girls are doing real good. And I think, again, there is one more. I don't have the schedule in front of me. But if you guys out there will look and see if you can find the schedule of the flag football girls, we will be more than happy to share it. Brian Davis, our long-lost comrade here, who's dressed up as Jimmy Buffett tonight, by the way.
Oh, boy.
Yes, indeed.
He's wasted away.
He's looking for a cheeseburger in paradise, clearly. He has put together kind of a breakdown, and we're not going to go through every single bit of this.
We can't.
I was going to say, we'll be here all night long.
It's about a book worth.
Yeah.
Brian has done an excellent job of every scenario.
Here's a new nickname, Brian Too Much Time Davis. Right
Too much time on my hands.
TMT is what we're going to call him. Too much time. But
TMT.
The biggest question that everybody's been asking me this week is about the.
Speaking of the devil.
Is that Brian Davis?
Brian Davis.
I heard somebody wanted a cheeseburger in paradise.
Oh my gosh, is that
TMT?
Is that Brian Too Much Time Davis over there?
Yeah, that's right.
Good Lord, there he is.
We're complimenting your compilation.
Man,
here.
you have done a great job.
Well, I was just escorted along the way, is all I can say.
Okay. So you did not do this by yourself.
No, absolutely not. I don't have that much creativity, but
I just hope you hadn't.
anyway.
blew out your flip flop after busting open on Pop
Stepped on that
Top.
pop
Well,
top.
that's what CJ warned me.
You know,
Hey, how are y'all?
he cut his heel and had to head on back home, I think is what happened.
Man, is
Yeah,
this
that's right.
is this CJ?
Yeah, no,
Oh, I was
he's up in Thomasville. But
Oh, I
no,
was
If
I
that
was
was
I had a
CJ
trick or
hollering
treat.
there, I'm going to be scared to death.
Yeah, that's right. Now CJ is Jimmy Buffett. And I'm gonna tell you what, that's the whole buffet.
That's Jimmy Buffet. That is Jimmy Buffet, as a matter of fact.
Jimmy Buffet.
The Jimmy all-you-can-eat buffet. Just saying. But
Well, I had to call in, but like I said, hey, appreciate y'all. Take care of business tonight. I hope the folders help y'all out, give y'all something to talk about besides
Absolutely.
Jimmy Buffett and the market. And I can't say what my better half was. I will just say she's a non-sponsored adult beverage.
that's a good way.
You just said it.
and if you,
But no, I didn't. I was talking myself.
and if you know anything
I
about
know where I get paid.
if you know anything about Jimmy Buffett, you should be able to add 2 and 2 and get 4, and hopefully not like 3.5 or something.
Oh, so
Unless
she's
you're from a school
cheeseburger.
down.
So she's the cheeseburger, huh?
I was hoping
Yeah,
she wasn't the
hey,
parent.
Well-
you better watch yourself.
If she's with Brian, she eating paradise, so I can tell you that.
That's exactly right. She's in Meg's.
Hey, y'all go have fun, man. We'll see you
All
tomorrow
right,
night.
boys. Y'all be good.
All right,
All
bud.
right. Bye.
Brian Davis, the man, the myth, the legend. But everybody's been asking about Region 1 6A because that is a confusing situation there. Basically, if Valdosta wins, they win the region. If Lowndes wins, they have to have Colquitt County to lose to win the region because Colquitt has a head-to-head against them. If Colquitt wins, Lowndes wins, and of course they have to defeat Richmond Hill, then they're the region champion.
Who, Moultrie?
Yep.
Yeah. Wow.
So there's a lot in play. It is really
That's
cool,
awesome.
though.
And Colquitt is playing Richmond Hill, who got beat by Valdosta. Oh, no, beat
beat
Valdosta
Yep.
2 weeks ago, and then got beat by Lowndes
Right.
last Friday.
By about the same different scores.
Yep.
Yeah,
I mean,
flip-flop.
Just like
crazy.
flip-flop. But Lowndes and Valdosta, the Wintersville Classic, you talk about a way to close the regular season out. That is awesome. I mean, of course, I know nobody planned for this to be the case, but that's going to be a heck of a football game. I just hate the fact that Valdosta's quarterback, I don't know what the
He
status
played
is.
last week.
Did he?
Yeah, he played last week.
Okay.
Robertson.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Robinson.
Yeah. Now, they only won 14-0 against Tift.
But he played.
Okay.
He played.
So that makes a big difference.
My thing is, man, think about the football games being played on 84 this week.
Ooh. Just take your pick.
It's just awesome, isn't it?
Well, then, what's kind of interesting, too, the Brooks County situation.
Yeah, very much.
In their region. Now, check this out. They win the region with a victory. Brooks County does. But if Irwin County wins it by 17 or more, then they can win it because they lost to Clinch County. And you start adding all the points and everything up there. They have to win by 17 or more to have a shot at winning it.
But if Brooks wins, they're
The region champion.
Brooks can win it and put all that to bed.
That's
yeah.
right. And
Yeah.
I think they will. I think they will.
But where does Clinch end up?
That's a good question. Now, Clinch, anyway. Now, the question also, they would end up 3.
Okay.
The question has always also been asked, if we win, of course, we would go in number 2 and host the opening playoff game, which would be in 2 weeks. Now, that's something else that all of our fans need to make sure you understand. Next week will be the makeup week for the Hurricane Week. So all those teams and all those games that got messed up because of the hurricane will be played next week. Now, that'll change a lot of the playoff stuff, but it will not affect us because majority of the schools that were over in the path of that thing when you got past Lowndes County and Valdosta were smaller schools.
That's right.
So the question has been, if we win, who we're going to play? You talk about a mess in Region 8, 5A. So here you go. Clark Central will clinch their region championship if they win. And they're playing Winder Barrow. Winder Barrow clinches the region with a win and a Jackson County loss. Tiebreaker situation if Winder Barrow wins and Jackson County wins to be settled. Winder Barrow missing a region game versus Appalachia because they had that mess with that school shooting thing, and they understandably just kind of shut everything down there for a while. It was ruled a no contest, but ruled a win when needed in region standings via the regional rules.
Isn't that crazy?
Now
He told me he emailed. What's
the Georgia High School Football Daily folks.
He said he emailed that
Todd
guy,
Holcomb.
and then that guy contacted the football coach up there, and that's what he was told. So evidently, that's the fact.
So
Wow.
Sounds strange to me too, but
the answer to the question, we don't have any idea who we're going to be playing.
Nope.
No clue. Because really and truly, that Clark Central versus Winder Barrow game and the Jackson County game could determine 1, 2, and 3 interchangeably between those 3 teams. And of course, as the number 2 team going into the playoffs, we would have number 3 coming to us.
Yeah,
So
exactly. I mean, if you win tomorrow night, we're pretty much guaranteed for a home.
we will,
yeah,
we
really,
will for
right?
sure. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Now, here's the flip side to the region or the number 2 thing going into the region or the playoffs. If by some chance, whoever loses this game tomorrow night between us and Coffee goes in as number 3. If you look at the brackets, that quadrant, which is the upper left quadrant, which is where number 3 would be, I think it's a more favorable draw as far as the teams that you would have to see. And that lower left-hand quadrant, which is where the number 2 team would be, right now it looks like you would have Thomas County Central down there. You would have Langston Hughes. You'd have Roswell. And there was somebody else I can't remember.
Rome.
Rome.
But
Yeah.
if you go into that 3 slot up there, you're pretty much not going to play at home.
Oh, you
for the
will
rest of
not.
the year.
Yeah, I mean, basically, it's almost
if you what
guaranteed.
now?
If you go in as number 3, you will not host a game, almost
you-
guaranteed.
Okay.
If
Some
by
upsets.
some reason we lose tomorrow night, we are not coming back
Right.
for the rest of the year.
Now, there is a
No, I mean,
possibility you could have
Well, I
a
mean,
4 upset of
yeah,
1.
you would have to have like a seed like
I
that.
promise you
happen,
that
but-
year in '92 when we went and faced the number 1 team in the state, they didn't think that little 4 was going to come in there either.
I mean, it's possible.
No, but yeah, you never know. Things can happen, but
Yeah.
on the odds,
The
you're
odds
probably not coming back.
favored.
No,
us.
you are correct. And
But
I,
here's the thing that, but the thing, Randy, that on the positive side of that, as a 2 seed,
Mhm.
I know you mentioned a lot of good teams down there.
oh, yeah.
Some of those will knock each other off.
Right, that's
but
right.
you got a chance to play a lot of those.
Yep.
To play a couple of those.
You would probably
so-
see Rome in the second round, but Roswell and Langston Hughes will be playing in that second round too. So,
So-
you're talking 2 really, really powerhouse matchups.
One will
there.
be gone.
Yep,
Unless
And then-
if Roswell and Milton play too.
that's right.
Now, if
Tomorrow night.
Roswell wins, that's going to
No.
be a mess there.
Is it
That-
right?
no, no, that's
okay.
right, that's
so who
right.
plays Douglas? Carrollton.
Douglas,
yes.
Carrollton, yeah,
Okay, that'll be some good football.
and that's in 6A.
If
Yeah.
Milton loses, that's going to turn everything upside down for like who we're going to be, paired up
Absolutely.
with.
Westover 14, Cairo 3, by the way. Ken Hortman said.
Is by chance is the Duncan kid playing or is he
I have
out
not
this
heard.
week?
Now, Michael Best told me on Tuesday when we recorded the press box show that he had been cleared, but he was extremely sore. And he explained to me what happened. He got tackled and was sitting on the ground, and somebody flew kind of over the pile or got pushed into him and
man.
doubled him over and kind of folded him up. And when he came back, he could not feel his legs
Oh wow.
and scared the heck out of, which I understandably so.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they took 20 minutes and got him to the hospital, and once they got him to Macon and cleared him out, about 2:30 in the morning, he came back home. So I think what you had tonight was basically a doctor and the family decision about he probably could have, but Cairo is going to be in the playoffs regardless.
That's right.
So if you know that's where you're hanging your
There's no
hat,
point of having that
No
play.
sense in having that.
give him 2 weeks to heal up, and then in that opening round
So
of the
will
playoffs.
they have a week
They'll
off
have a week
next
off next week, too.
so-
Yep.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer.
Yep, no question.
Trust me, Dan, we're all confused too.
Yeah,
And this is either one
Dan
or
Stewart
two,
says we're all confused. And if you want to get really confused, start talking about AAA down to single A with all the stinking power ranking stuff on the Talk That Talk 229 Facebook page, which I love, by the way.
Me too.
Great page.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. A lot of good discussion. Of course, there's a lot of trash talking too, which is always good. I get so tickled at some of the mess that gets said. But they had a link to a podcast that was done last night where they interviewed some of the folks from the GHSA explaining the process of how the power rankings would be used to choose your playoff seeds. I listened to every word of it, and I still do not understand what they're doing. I just don't. And here's an example of it. You've got Toombs County, which is, by most polls, the number 1 team in Class 1 AA, I think, which is or is it single A?
I don't know. You on your own on this
It's
one. I have
it's
no
the
idea.
larger it's the larger class in single A. They will be playing Savannah Christian. Both of them are undefeated. This is for a region championship. Okay. So and right now Toombs County is a number 1, I guess, power ranking seed. if they lose, if Toombs County loses to Savannah Christian will go into the playoffs on the private school side of the playoffs, not the public schools. So there technically will be no region champion representing that region in the public school playoffs.
So they'll slip with somebody else in there.
They would slip to number 2.
Okay.
Even though they're not the region champions, but the overall power rankings in the state would be barely affected by it. The bottom line here, and this is what I don't like about this, you've got teams that have played a really good schedule that have got a 4-6 record or a 5-5 record. Unless that power ranking thing rewards them for those good teams they played, their record does not indicate how good they are. But yet and still, because they're number 4 in their region or something, they're going to be bumped to like 22, 23, 24 in those power rankings.
Yeah.
If Brian was here, he could tell you, but here's my opinion. I don't know too much about it because it ain't about the Yellow Jackets. So I don't care.
Yeah. Earl Brooks said he listened to it twice and he still didn't understand.
Well, I'll tell you this. Now, I get the thing every day.
The Georgia High School Football Daily thing?
Yeah, the daily thing. And today, they had each from 3A down to
Single A
all the way down to the private school. They had all those schools, each there's 16 teams in each division.
Yeah.
So like in 3A, you got 16 teams that'll make it.
automatically.
Okay.
They're
So they're
16,
they're doing it like college.
and then
You
they've got them
top
quadrant. They've got them in quadrants of 4.
Mhm.
Okay.
Or yeah, it
So
is
it's like
hard.
us, but it's not broke up into individual.
There's 32 teams, but there's 4 games in each quadrant,
Okay.
and
But they're not
it's-
assigned by like
and they're 1
region,
through
though.
4.
Yeah. But they're not assigned
And
to
then there's a
different region.
parentheses number as your power
Yeah.
ranking.
I don't know.
It's weird now. It's
And
weird.
Obadiah says it was Friday Night Lights podcast is what it's called. So if you've got Facebook, go look up the Friday Night Lights podcast. There is a detailed explanation from a Georgia High School Association official. And he knows what he's saying and he knows what he's talking about, but I still don't understand it. So
I got you.
all I know is this. Thomasville right now is like a number 3 seed in the whole state. If Fitzgerald loses tomorrow night and Thomasville wins and Worth County wins, then Worth County is the region champion, but they will be lower as far as their
The power ranking.
Yeah, but I still think, though, they go in as a number 1 team
I think
out of
that
the region.
power ranking though is a strength of schedule thing.
Right.
So
That would reward Thomasville for playing Cairo and Thomasville.
Thomasville has played some really good teams.
Yeah.
So I don't know where that would ever hurt them.
Anyway. But good luck to all those local teams. And Obadiah says he will share that podcast on his Facebook profile. So if you guys know Obadiah Farley, who is he is a tried, true, purebred blue and gold yellow jacket.
Absolutely.
Make sure you go to his page and you can watch it.
And I want to also give a shout out to Rick Vanderhoff. He listens to us every week, and he calls us Go Jackets. He wants, but Rick, I hope you're feeling better, buddy, and Go Jackets.
So real quick, want to run through some region stats that Brian Davis, the stat master, compiled for us. Tyrese Woodgett, who is the running back for Coffee County that Coach Rogers mentioned earlier, he is the leading rusher in the region with 981 yards. But here's the thing to notice. He has 180 carries.
So they're giving it to him now.
Deuce Lawrence, who is number 2 in the region with 943 yards, has 103. So basically 77 less carries for Deuce. Deuce
40 less yards.
Right, and Deuce is carrying a 9.2 yard average per carry. Woodgett is carrying 5.5. Usmane Chroma is number 3 in the region. Weston Bryan, the big quarterback from Lee County. How much has he stepped up this year?
Absolutely.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, if you're talking about an offensive player of the year for this region,
Weston Bryan by far.
I'm going either Jalen Johnson or Weston Bryan.
Absolutely.
Both of those guys.
As far as night and day.
Yeah.
Jalen's been as
Consistent, man.
consistent.
Yep.
But I'm going to tell you, Yellow Jacket fans, just a little poke. Just a little poke. We got the number 1 rusher coming into our place tomorrow night.
Yep. And A.J. Clark has moved up. A.J. now has 503 yards on the season, averaging about 6.5 yards a pop.
And he's been very consistent. You know, he's been getting better and better.
What is crazy, though, is Ahmad Ponder
It's still on there.
still ranked in the top 20
Yep.
as far as the region rushing yards are concerned. That's just crazy. And has the highest average, at least as far as the top 20 is concerned, of almost 14 yards a pop.
That's right.
And Jalen has moved up. He's got 185 yards rushing himself. And Kobe Carnage, we're right at 200. Kentavious DeBruce is the other running back, and I guess that's number one for Coffee. He's got right at 300 rushing yards on the season. Now, as far as passing is concerned, no shock. A.J. Hill, Antoine Hill from Houston County with 2,656 yards.
But 84 passes, right?
Well, no.
Or how many?
Look at the attempts.
Yeah.
No. Look at the attempts.
Oh, wow. Okay. My bad.
300 attempts. Jalen Johnson has 162, so almost half as many attempts.
Yep.
And Jalen's about 600 yards behind A.J. Hill. Weston Bryan, here he is, number 3. Braden Coe, the quarterback for Coffee, is number 4, but 610 passing yards, which is fractional compared to the top 3 for sure.
Yep.
In fact, if you look at it, A.J. Hill has 2,000 more passing yards than the quarterback from Coffee County. So Coffee County wants to run the football.
Yep.
Receiving, Isaiah Mitchell, who really was impressive last week for Houston County, 1,087 receiving yards, averaging about 18 yards a pop. MJ Mathis is number 2 from Houston County. Not a shock, again, if you think about how many times they throw the football. Jaden Upshaw, the good receiver from Lee, is number 3. And J.B. Watkins at number 4. Now, what's cool, you've got Dunbar, Pringle, Ethan Rayberg, all about 7, 8, 9 or so, and all of them with about 350 or so yards. So all combined up there, very impressive for Thomas County Central.
I'll tell you who's stepping up.
Who's that?
Rodney Dunbar.
Rodney Dunbar.
Man. My Lord.
He's playing out on a different level, right?
Yeah, he is.
He is.
It's clear, too.
Yep.
Scoring,
Very clear.
Weston Bryant, the quarterback from Lee County, 20 touchdowns. 126 total points. Now, Deuce is number 2 with 16 touchdowns and 98 total points. Usmani Chroma, number 3, with 16 touchdowns of his own and 96 points. Drew Renault has 66 kicking points. And, again, but Weston Bryan, we mentioned the name a lot. That's the quarterback from Lee County. He has really – if there's an if there's a most improved player –
oh, yeah, definitely.
There is no question in my mind
Yep.
who's going to win that.
It just still confuses me how you recruit somebody like that as a tight end to a college.
I don't think he'll ever play as tight end.
I don't think. There's no way. There's no way.
But now here's something interesting. You look at the team statistics. As far as, and I don't know where Northside is in any of this. I don't know if they just haven't been reporting their statistics, but again, they've struggled this year. So I don't know that they'd be in it anyway. Lee County is the number 1 team rushing the ball with 2,391 yards, but with almost 50 more rushing attempts than Thomas County Central. Thomas County Central is averaging more per carry than Lee County, 7.5 to 7.3. Thomas County Central with 2,095 rushing yards. Coffee, which again hangs their hat on running the football, has 300 less rushing yards than Thomas County Central.
Yep.
With almost 78 more rushing attempts. Interesting. Team passing, Houston County, of course, on top with 2794. Thomas County Central, number 2. But again, half as many attempts. Lee County at number 3, Veterans 4. And then Coffee County, 848 total yards passing the ball. Total offense, Thomas County Central is the number 1 team in the region with 4,172 yards, 9.1 yards a play. Lee County number 2 with 4,069, 8 yards a carry or 8 yards a play. Houston 3, Coffee at 4, and Veterans at 5. But they're basically neck and neck there. Coffee with 2,600 total yards and Veterans with 2,100, but averaging about 5.5 yards a pop. So anyway, thanks to Brian Davis again for compiling all of those fantastic statistics. Westover 14-10.
There you go.
Got a football game. Devin Bass says, Georgia got lucky that Florida is out our best wide receiver and defensive back. Okay, here we go. I knew that was coming. It is Georgia-Florida weekend, and I will say I think it's going to be a good football game. And here's why. Georgia's starting 2 safeties will not play in the first half because of the targeting stuff, which was kind of fertilizery.
I think they should hold them out the whole game.
Yeah, I'll say the same.
You're going to go ahead and see if you can get the SEC to do that?
Yeah, I'm going to try to.
So a true freshman, KJ Bolden, who played with, I think it was Buford He will be coming in to start in his first start against a really good quarterback in Lagway from Florida. And I think that that first half is going to be that'll be fun to watch.
We're going to see what happens. I think DJ struggles a little bit with the short game, but hey, if we can sling it all day.
Yeah, Florida's improved, though. There's no question. I'm just curious to see what Georgia does.
I just hope the defense shows up because it's been like 3 years before we've even had a contest at halftime. It's usually been blown out by then the last 3 or 4 years. So I just want a shot in the fourth quarter anyway.
The good news for the Georgia folks is that 2 things showed up in the Texas game that we had not seen this year: the running game and tackling. And if those 2 things show up Saturday, I think Georgia's got a real good shot.
Hey, the elephant in the room, I think our defense is going to be ready for who they see in the backfield over there.
Oh, I'm sure so.
What, that little fella that transferred?
Yeah.
Well,
about that.
he's not the best running back. Frazier, Nate Frazier, who's the freshman, the reason he has not been playing is because Kirby Smart says if you're not going to block, you're not playing. And
Boy, they got the wrong dude on the field.
Yeah.
Trevor can't pass block. He might have got better this year, but
that's why you're probably going to see more of Frazier this week than you've seen this year. But anyway, always a lot of fun, and those 2 teams get together, you never know what's going to happen. So looking forward to it. And your Seminoles got North Carolina.
We're playing.
Got a shot.
Yep.
Got a shot. Now,
I thought that
playing them up there.
I thought we played better last week.
No question.
Yeah.
We still. I don't know what's going on, but we can make 2 or 3 good steps, and then we're going to take one back, man. I don't understand it. We're still jumping off sides. We're still getting delay of games. But I thought Cromenhock played really good, and man, I seen some wheels on Brock Glenn that will help us down the line. I think they just got to get more reps.
Mm-hmm.
Defensively, I thought we played really good.
Yeah. They contain Cam Ward for the most part.
Except for his touchdown reception. Now. He's a handful.
Yeah, they got a lot of sacks, though.
But, Cam Ward had I want to say
touchdown pass every game.
The most 250-yard passing games in a row of anybody in the country, and he did not get there.
Really?
Against Florida State.
Wow.
But he did get the touchdown late, on the trick play.
Reception.
But he's just a great athlete.
Yeah, he is. And Miami is really good in the trenches on both sides of the ball, too.
But hey, sometimes you got to flush one.
Yeah.
We'll have to flush this one.
Mike Lowry. Well, everybody goes through transition years. And I think the mistake, now this is us talking about FSU, and I know this is a central thing, they hung their hat too long on DJ.
Yeah.
And I think that affected the whole psyche of the whole team. And the coaching staff.
Yep.
Anyway, before I forget to say this, I want to congratulate Joe Burns.
Man.
Joe inducted to the Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame this past weekend. It was really, really cool to stand there and see Charlie Ward Jr. and Joe there representing Thomas County Central. And the Thomasville folks have got Mike Bobo, William Andrews, and Guy McIntyre in there. So Thomasville and Thomas County, very, very well represented. And there'll be more coming, but very proud of Joe. And not just because of what he did playing, but what he's done after his football career with that Rising Seniors thing.
Yep.
And for those of you who don't know what that is, when Joe was in high school here, of course, and I'm not saying anything that nobody doesn't already know, we had a lot of guys that should have been playing college football on Saturdays that didn't. Is that a fair way of putting it?
That's fair way. That's fair.
And Joe never got that out of his head. And I think Joe himself will tell you that he did not prepare himself academically for college. He was not academically ready for it. So what he created was this Rising Seniors thing, which is basically for high school juniors that have got a shot at playing college football, instructing them on how to empower themselves to be successful in the classroom and stay eligible and thrive as a student and not just as an athlete. And it has paid huge dividends across the years. And I just tip my cap to Joe. And he's used his own money, his own resources to be able to get that thing established. Now he's got a bunch of folks, businesses and companies and industries sponsoring it and underpinning the cost of it because they see the value in it.
Absolutely.
But that was all Joe Burns. And that's just a reflection of his upbringing. I mean, you talking about solid as it can get. Now, mom and daddy there, the genes didn't lie. And anyway, congratulations to Joe. Congratulations to Junior and all those inductees That was really cool. Got to hang out with some really neat folks.
Absolutely.
So what's our game picks?
Or what we got here?
And then we'll do trick or treat.
You know, you got region championship edition picks this week.
Obadiah Fall. Oh, Mike Lowry says go Canes. Hey, tip of the cap to Miami. No question. Guys
Absolutely.
are playing.
They playing ball.
And Obadiah says the game against Coffee feels like a Thomas County Central fans. For the fans, well, I think this is an opportunity for our fans to kind of make a statement.
Absolutely.
Coffee County's bringing this is a regular season game, and they're bringing fan buses.
It's also senior night.
Yep,
So
a lot going on. We will not have a Hall of Fame induction tomorrow night because of all of the senior night stuff. There's just so much going on, and the last thing you want to do is make it feel like you're cramming that in there to try to get it in.
That's a special thing.
Yep, and those seniors need to have the spotlight entirely to themselves, flat out.
Ready?
All right, let's see what we got.
Let's see what we got.
Let's hear the results first, though. We got to hear the results.
Man,
I'm just saying we got to hear the
All
results.
right. Jamie, I got bad news. 1-4 last week.
Yeah, I took some chances, man.
He rolled the dice.
I rolled the dice.
I think me and Randy, we picked the same thing, so we were both 4-1, and Brian was also 4-1 too. But he swapped one that we got wrong, and he was the only one that got right.
So the young boys did pretty good over here.
Yeah. So Randy first, I'm second. Jamie and Brian tied for third.
Good gosh, you go from second to the basement.
But now,
but credit for giving it a shot. You were trying.
But you and Brian have 29 wins. I've got 30, so it's only one away from that.
Okay.
So
How many I got?
34.
Woo! Okay.
But we got 6 games this weekend.
Oh
So
yeah,
it's
trying to
room
get
for
some
improvement.
See, Casey's whispering in my ear to tell me what to pick. Just saying.
I'm listening to Casey.
All right. Let's see. For the first one, we have 7-2 Perry at 6-3 Warner Robins.
Ooh.
Good gracious alive.
Now Perry cinched the region championship. They beat Benedictine this past week.
So you think they'll sit players?
See, that's what I'm not saying. No. I mean, that's a legitimate question. I mean, because this game doesn't mean a thing.
Too.
Yeah, I mean, other
right.
than rivalry. That's
So
a legit.
So what? Will Warner Robins
Yeah, I mean, that's
have anything to play for?
I mean, they
So
might
are
be
seeing
They're
playing
in
for
the
season,
playoffs.
I guess.
They're in the playoffs.
They may be playing for a home game.
Yeah.
If that's the case, and that's huge.
Yeah. We're battling for 3rd and 4th, maybe.
Here, let me mention this real quick. Heritage Crete Sporting Goods and Apparel has the last week for the Athletic Booster Club fundraiser this week. It ends Sunday. Get the orders in, support your student athletes, and also a good time to get some Christmas presents. For
Absolutely.
folks, too. All right, who's going to pick first?
I'll go.
All right.
I'm going to pick Perry.
Perry.
I'm picking Perry, too. I mean,
I'm picking Warner Robins.
what did Warner Robins do last week?
Might as well go for it, guys.
Yeah,
You ain't first, you last.
Yeah, I got you. Let me see here.
I also want to put this out. The broadcasting kids are also doing a fundraiser that started today, and that goes to their kids that do the football team. And,
Saw that.
and some other activities that they do.
That's awesome.
So,
Helps pay for
trips, letter jackets.
Yeah, that's awesome.
helps feed them and all that stuff. So Warner Robins last week lost to Ware County 24-21.
And
That's
Perry,
a tie
Perry
game.
beat Ware not by much. I think by a touchdown.
And they lost to Benedictine 2 weeks ago 35-21.
So hit the Perry.
All right.
Let me see.
All right, Perry. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me get to. I don't know.
What happened?
I'm
They got
getting
a
an
lot of
ad
pop-up.
here. Let me get to schedule. They lost to Houston 31-17, lost to East Coweta 31-15. But look at these last scores here. They beat Wayne County, decent. Yeah, New Hampstead they beat 80-47. 56-7 Wayne County, 31-21 Ware, 31-27 Benedictine. They're scoring points.
31 what?
31-27 Benedictine. And then they defeated Ware the previous week, 31-21. I'm going Perry. Jamie's reconsidering.
No, I'm going.
You're still going to go Warner Robins? Okay.
All right, let's see.
Perry's going to sit players this week.
And that's possible.
I'm kidding.
No, it's possible.
I'm just kidding.
We've already outlined this one. Brooks County, or 6-3 Brooks County, 4-0 in the region. At 8-1 Irwin, and Irwin is 3-1 in the region. So Brooks County wins, they win the region.
Well, you got some good ones this week.
Golly.
Me and Brian, we both picked Brooks.
I'm going Irwin.
Are you really? I'm going Brooks.
Dang, I will be in the cellar after this week.
Well, they have found another gear offensively. Now, they found their wheels.
Okay, let's see.
Josie Walden, by the way, let me point this out. Every week we talk about Josie High School as being her school.
Yeah.
And they've struggled this year. Now, Josie's the one that got you to talk to about her passing game down on the sidelines the other night, because I can see why Josie High School's been struggling if that's their quarterback. They played Thompson last week. Josie High School did. Thompson beat them 85-0.
Oh, Lord.
So,
well, I remember the one time we went and played Jose up there.
Josie, I remember it too.
And I heard gunshots before the game.
Yeah,
I was like, dude.
It was little Hugh Mills. But Josie, you got a shot this week. You're playing 0-8 Glen Hills. So
this will be the battle for a win.
All right.
All right, 8-1 Buford at 7-2 Mill Creek.
Oh my!
And I think this is for a possible
region title
championship too.
I think that's what was in the book here. Buford would win the region with a victory. Mill Creek needs victory and 7 points or more to claim what would likely be a three-way tiebreaker with Collins
Hill,
with Cecil Hill,
and they're playing at Mill Creek.
At Mill Creek.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Brian,
I'll go to first. I want to hear his pick first.
Buford's number 1 in 6A.
I'm going Mill Creek.
Ooh, Jamie he's throwing all caution to the wind here tonight.
He's not alone.
He's either like, I'm going to win it or I'm going to lose it all in flying
the French
colors.
silk
If you
tie
ain't first,
blizzard.
you last.
I'll be listening to FSU now.
I'm going Buford.
Bufy.
I picked Buford as well. Brian picked Mill Creek.
Okay.
I hear you, Brian.
Okay, 2-2.
All right, so
Gosh,
let's see which one
could
I
be
should
really
do
bad
next.
for me. Is the Mill Creek game on there?
Paul Prince Advertising ordered TCCHS football Road to Greatness hoodie
That's
or
right.
sweatshirt.
I was going to mention that.
Yeah,
too.
Paul
Yeah,
Prince.
All right, so we'll do.
That's a good looking.
It's the region playoff hoodie is what I'm saying. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
9-0 Carrollton at 8-1 Douglas County.
Golly.
I'm going Carrollton. Is everybody going to go with me now?
No, I'm going Douglas.
What?
I'm going Douglas.
Okay.
I'm going Douglas.
I'm doing the same. Brian went with Carrollton.
Okay. Juju's hard to beat, man.
He is, but they're playing at Douglas, and Douglas, that's a very athletic football team.
What's their record?
8-1.
Carrollton's 9-0.
That's going to be a heck of a football game.
Good one.
Man, boy, if that was on Saturday, I might go
Right up there.
All right, I'm going to get y'all's opinion which one you want to do next. The local or not local?
Let's do not local.
Not
Okay.
local.
All right, you asked for it.
I know where he's going to.
Do you? It's in the book. 8-1 Roswell at 9-0 Milton.
Milton.
Golly dog it. And Roswell coming off a big upset against Gainesville.
Right.
Gainesville receiver caught a pass in the end zone on the last play of the game, but he was out of bounds.
Yep.
And that ended the game.
Lost 48-45.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's some D in that one.
You ain't kidding.
I'm Milton on that.
I'm going Milton.
Brian took Roswell. We're all three with Milton.
Okay.
Okay.
That man, but
See you, Brian.
listen to these games, Jamie.
Hey, this
Listen to this doggone lineup.
And the thing about it is all these teams are playoff teams, so somebody's got a total loss into the
That's right.
playoffs.
That's right.
All right.
This is the local one?
Yep.
Okay.
Local joke.
8-1 Valdosta at 8-1 Lowndes
Mm.
in the Concrete Palace.
In the Palace. Let me tell you, Coach Carter's got them going over there.
I'm going Lowndes.
I'm going Lowndes.
Going Lowndes.
All right. Well, we all went with Lowndes.
Okay. And let me say this. I think if Valdosta was at 100%, the quarterback can't be at 100%. I think that's going to be a much closer game than folks think, but Lowndes is playing now.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, they play it.
they have I heard
their quarterback didn't play the night that we scrimmaged them.
Lowndes is quarterback?
Yeah.
And there were several guys from what I
They
heard.
played the Parrish kid,
Mhm.
which is not a bad option at all. But since then, the Parrish kid, I think, has went to a wide receiver and has done well.
Mm-hmm.
But the quarterback that stepped in, from what I understand, he's a lot like Jalen Johnson. He's 6'4",
Mm-hmm.
about 215, and just a really good player.
Yeah. And I heard Earl Brooks and the guys on the Talk That Talk podcast Sunday night saying that Earl said that he thought that maybe the Lowndes coach may have tried some stuff that night that he wouldn't have tried otherwise. And if you've got a lineup like
Why
that,
not?
why not give it a shot? But we all kind of walked out of there going, man, they're going to struggle. But they didn't have all their pieces in place.
But their fans that I talked to said, man, we just don't know if this guy makes it out the season.
He's going to make it out of the season, though.
And I'm telling you,
I definitely did not have their record on my bingo.
Agreed.
Especially after that night.
Yeah, I think
I'll tell you, I think that talking about confidence, they needed it.
Yeah, no doubt.
Football's not good when Thomasville's not good, when Lowndes ain't good.
I agree.
When
Those
teams around here
traditional
need to be
powers.
good.
Yeah.
Cairo needs to be good.
It's been a few
Bainbridge
years over
needs to
there.
be good. When's the last time you seen a Bainbridge team that didn't win a game?
Bainbridge has a shot tomorrow night. They've got Doherty. But Bainbridge has not won a game.
That just blows my mind, y'all.
And Doherty's won 2 all year.
Because y'all know how many athletes Bainbridge got over there.
Now, Obadiah asked a good question about Valdosta. If their quarterback's banged up, do you hold him out for the playoffs?
Where does Valdosta finish if they
Region champs.
if
If they
get
lose,
beat?
they would be 3.
See that's a home game they don't get.
Yeah, I don't think they. Yeah,
I don't think they
yeah.
risk it.
You
Yep.
go from 0 to 0, essentially.
Yep.
I mean, if you lose.
And Coach Felton Shelton over there at Valdosta, but he'll do the right thing. If that kid ain't ready to play now, he won't play.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
I mean, he's been at the college ranks.
Yep.
Now, it may be one of those situations they get out there and it gets lopsided early. You might have a short leash.
Absolutely.
For sure. But
Because you definitely want him healthy going into
Yeah.
where you don't get it tomorrow.
I don't think, I mean, if he's ready to play, he's going to play. I don't think they'll hold him
I
out
agree.
unless, they get in the second quarter and it's like looking dim
Now,
anyway.
Now, if he's 100% tomorrow night,
Oh, yeah.
that's going to be one
hang on.
heck of a football
They've
game.
already sold out tickets and everything
Yeah.
over there.
Well, let's just say this real quick. Nobody deserves to have this game more than the Valdosta Lowndes County community. right now.
Absolutely.
Based on everything they've gone through in the last couple of months, this is a moment of healing for that community. I mean, it really is. And this is why high school football in South Georgia, I mean, this is the living embodiment of why it's so important. You'll have 2 fan bases now. They'll be at each other's throats now for 3 hours. But this is an opportunity for that community to kind of put all that mess behind them and focus on that moment tomorrow night in that stadium.
Yeah.
That's big.
And I knew, everything coming through. We used to live 10 minutes from Valdosta there. And I hadn't really been over there since. And we knew it was bad, but I went last Saturday and through like the heart of town, Jerry Jones and all that.
Mm-hmm.
It's bad.
It is so bad.
Yeah, well, in fact, the lady
I'm
who
not going to describe because it's bad.
it's horrible. The lady who is our pharmacist at Walmart here lives in Valdosta, and last night, every time I go in there to pick something up, I ask how she's doing and what's going on. She had shot video through the town, just like you're talking about, and it's heartbreaking. I mean, it is heartbreaking to see. It is twice as bad as what we have with Kate here, and Thomas looked like a war zone.
Oh,
when
yeah,
Kate came
it
through.
was terrible.
It's worse than, or 2 times worse as the one last year that went right through there and tore everything up. Like, I mean, you can't even see the houses because there's just like 12-foot tall walls of just trees cut up, and the only thing open is just a driveway,
Just
where they can get
debris.
in and out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Okay, and Westover 22K Row 10, and Brian Duncan, Ken Hortman said, is playing.
Good.
So,
Good.
Okay, so go ahead.
So, Westover must be pretty good.
Oh yeah. I mean, this is the best
their
record
only
they've ever
loss
had.
was to Peach, right?
Yeah, they're 8-1. I'm being attacked by Mothra or something here.
It's a Martha. Hey, it's
It's Halloween, so it makes sense. There you go. That got him.
Yeah.
Was Mothra. So speaking of Halloween, let's see here.
Now let me ask you something. What if Halloween was tomorrow
Ooh,
and Valdosta and Lowndes hooking up?
That
At
move-
Valdosta,
that
with
move-
all them Hanks and Boogers.
but they're at the Concrete Palace.
Yeah, they're at the Palace.
Nelson Cavanis asks if Thomas County Central finished potential second round matchup against Rome. Do you think the coin flip favors the North? Honestly, who knows? I know they say they do a coin flip. I don't know. I've never been able to
we've
figure
been
it out.
on the short side an awful lot.
Yeah,
Mr. Nelson, I know that the second team in the region, the number 2 spot, will be the tougher road.
Yep.
But with more opportunities to host.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
The 3rd seed
Easier road.
after tomorrow night
probably ain't never gonna be.
Yeah,
home.
You ain't coming back home.
You'd have to have
So-
if you were 2 seed, you'd have to have one upset.
Yep.
If you were 3, you'd have to have at least 2 upsets.
That's right.
Yep.
So, but I've been telling y'all the whole time. I know everybody's talking about that 3 seed thing.
It doesn't matter.
I want to win every football game.
Yep.
Because I don't like getting a setback going into the playoffs.
Well,
I
and
don't like it.
You're going to see the best teams at some point anyway.
That's right. I mean,
I mean, it's
you're
just the
going
way
to have
it
to
works.
play them eventually.
And the thing is, too, you don't know what teams. And I'll just, as an example, I mean, I don't know this, but say a Sequoia that's 9-1 going into the playoffs. Now, all of us kind of smirk. They may be really, really good, but just happen to get a
Absolutely.
lot of attention.
Absolutely.
So you don't know that what some of those teams in the other regions are bringing to the table. Now, the high-profile names are the ones that are going to get all the attention, understandably so. But that doesn't mean that those other teams aren't bringing something to the table that they can win with.
Well, see, like last year, in my opinion, I didn't take Rome that serious.
Ooh, my gosh.
Because I said, their size, they wasn't huge, but
Well
I
coached.
just thought that we would do. But when we got there, man, them jokers were really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you, this year, whoever makes it, the way it's laying out, whoever makes it on either side, this is probably going to be whoever makes this title game, this is probably going to be one of the best state title games.
Runs
Yeah.
Yeah, the title games will be played in December, Mike.
like on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Yeah, in the middle of the
Something
week.
like that.
Oh, they're doing that this time?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They did it last time, too.
I thought, it was on
No
Thursday,
weekends.
Friday, Saturday. I thought last.
SEC championships up.
Oh, it's on Saturday. So it was like a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday,
Mm-hmm.
something like that.
Maybe,
No,
yeah.
it's Tuesday, Wednesday, and
Thursday, that's right.
You're right, 'cause we played on Thursday night, right?
That's right.
Okay. You're right.
Ken Hortman says he's not 100% sure about Brian Duncan playing. So,
Okay.
All right, you ready for trick or treat?
Trick or treat.
And everybody out there can answer these as well. Now, the questions are, and the answer's trick, which means it's not good, or treat, it is good. All right, so you ready?
I hope
I
you
gotta
got a
figure
treat
this
in there.
out.
Trick or treat, trick or treat,
Trick or treat.
candy corn.
Oh, that's a treat.
That's absolutely good.
That's a treat.
Treat. You good treat? Okay, now, treat here. I have never understood people not liking candy corn.
Me either.
And
Hey, there's going to be a debate right here, right
You
now.
just
I know it's
started
gonna
it.
happen.
You either love it or hate it. I don't know how you hate it, but you either love it or hate it.
Well, I can tell you this right now. You take a handful of peanuts and a handful of candy corn and chunk them in your mouth,
Ooh,
and you got a payday.
hey,
Hey,
I promise.
okay.
Just do it.
But now, I
It's a
thought
payday.
to me, you got to eat the white part first off the top
In
of
layers,
the candy corn,
yeah.
and then you get the orange, and then you get the yellow and then the orange. Or wait, the
There's some
orange and then the
chocolate
yellow.
on some of them.
Some of them have chocolate. That's
I
okay.
only got blueberry now.
Blueberry.
Yeah.
I have to try those.
Okay, so treat.
Treat.
All right, power rankings for high school football playoffs.
Trick.
trick.
Yeah, trick.
Trick. I think we're all in agreement there.
That's a trick right there.
And
That's
listen,
sleazy.
If it's a treat, that's a horrible treat.
by no means am I saying I'm a smart guy, but whenever I got folks that I know are smart, like Earl Brooks, watching the guy from the Georgia High School Association with a detailed explanation of what's going on, and you get finished and go, what?
Hey, just rank us and we'll be there, all right?
That's the way I used to look at Mrs. Connor when she was trying to explain algebra to me. I mean, it's like I call it the eye of the dog, where I mean, you just tilt your head. I mean, the words got there, but I have no idea what you're saying.
Help.
Okay, so trick. All right,
Trick.
trick or treat. The high school pass interference rule.
About the
Trick.
uncatchable ball?
Just the way the rule's written.
I think it's a trick.
Yeah, it's trick.
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 Can I give an explanation?
Absolutely.
Sure.
So here's my thing. In the NFL, I'm going to start from the top and go to the bottom. And you tell me if this makes
I was
sense.
loading up for this one because I knew this would get him.
So in the NFL, if you're on the 1 yard line and a quarterback, you're on 1 yard line and your quarterback chunks it to the other end zone and there's pass interference called, that ball is going to the other side of the field on the spot foul. So it's going on the 1 yard line.
Mm-hmm.
In college, it's a 15-yarder no matter what happens, what does anything.
But it's got to be catchable.
Yeah, and in NFL and college, they both have to be a catchable ball to be pass interference. Now, in high school, where these kids are learning to play defense at a high level, I'm going to say for the first time, you're going to make it one of the hardest rules by having no such thing as a non-catchable ball.
Yep.
And it being 15 yards on top of that. So it just, I don't know, it doesn't make any sense because you need to, I mean, 15-yard penalty for sure.
Well, I'll
But
tell you.
uncatchable pass. I mean, you need to let
That's-
them learn.
Yep.
Well, I can tell you two more that bothers me more than that.
Well, hold on. There may be more coming.
Okay.
Penalty wise.
Just bookmark it, and if it doesn't come to
Yeah. Just hold that
Well,
thought.
it's in my head.
Oh, go ahead. Then. Go ahead. Go
It's
ahead.
hard.
Just go ahead. Well, let's hear.
They've got to change the half distance. If you're on offense, or if you're on defense, and the defense jumps off, or the offense has them, or vice versa, the half the distance thing.
So if you're at the 3 in your offense and you have a procedure, you go back 5 yards.
Yeah, but the defense can jump off sides and you get a half a yard.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, if you're down there and you give up a half a yard, when they jump off sides, they get the half yard back. You don't get the 5.
Well,
That don't make no sense.
Yeah.
to
I
me.
get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
But I think that's at every level too. So that's,
Yeah.
I
It's
don't think
consistent
just-
anyway.
Oh, it's consistent.
But let me say this, and I agree with Bryce. To me, it should be a 15-yard penalty, but it has to be a catchable. And the reason I don't like the spot penalty is there's no guarantee the guy's going to catch the ball.
That's
Right,
right.
exactly.
So the penalty for interfering with the pass should be there, but 15 yards. But it can't be a pass interference if the pass couldn't be called. How's that pass
Yeah,
interference?
and if it's, I mean, if there's no such thing as a catchable ball, I mean, these kids are going to be scared to play corner, and they're not ever going to like feel I'm going to say the confidence to learn and actually man somebody up.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's just
Okay, trick or treat.
Trick or treat.
Tootsie Rolls.
Treats.
Treat.
they're all right treat.
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 All right. What about Tootsie Pops?
That's treat.
That's treat.
Treat all day.
Takes 3 licks to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Tootsie Pop. Remember that?
But don't.
That's what that old owl said.
I'll buy
On
it
that-
right off the bat.
Just bite right into it and go. Okay.
Not even a 1, a 2, a 3.
1, 2, the.
There goes his teeth.
1, 2, 3. Gone. All right. Trick or treat. Finals at the Mercedes-Benz.
A trick.
Treat.
Ooh.
Takes lots of money out of our little communities. And
The trap.
it takes all the money to Atlanta, Georgia.
I'm the
Yeah.
or because I could take it either way. But I do like the idea of having it local.
I agree.
You can't have
mean-
a Thomasville Central final
Yep.
and you have to move everybody up there.
Yeah.
Now I agree in an instant like that. That would be awesome to either one host that. But my thing is, and the reason I say treat is because if I was in those shoes, I mean, to go play, where the Falcons play, the SEC
Well, like the
championship
experience
is.
you had as a fan last year being there.
Yeah, that was. I mean, it's just an awesome experience, and I know most of high school players don't ever get on the field at the
I get
college
it.
level.
Yep.
I mean, that may be their only chance to get there. So that's why I say that. Now the traveling stuff, I don't like that either. But as far as experiences, I think
I know where Randy is on it.
I see it both ways. I'd rather it be at home.
Me too.
I'd rather. There's nothing more special than a small town state championship. It becomes a part of the lore and legend of those communities.
Well, if you think about it, if you're Clinch County or if you're Brooks County or if you're Irwin County and get that home state championship game,
The financial impact is massive.
you'll never be able to top it.
Yeah. But I do understand the lure of it being up there and that once in a lifetime thing
Oh,
for the
I
players.
think
I
it's
get
a
it.
special
Yeah,
time.
I get it.
I do. I think it's
Okay.
special.
Trick or treat. Preseason polls.
Trick.
Right.
Yeah. Popularity contest. All based.
All
There
plastered.
should be no college polls. There should be no high school polls until
Week 5.
until you get to October, because then you've got a body of
Or until the
work.
region play starts.
Yep.
Because does everybody starts like the schedules are formatted the same. Region doesn't start till like halfway through,
Yep.
right?
That's
That's
right.
right.
That's right. Okay. Trick or treat. Pumpkin pie.
That's a treat.
Treat. Especially if you're talking about the pumpkin pie.
That too.
I'll eat that
Pumpkin
one.
pie blizzard.
Oh
Next.
man,
That's
if
a
you're
treat.
going up there with Greg and getting that pumpkin pie blizzard,
Yeah, Casey was going, I don't know about pumpkin pie. Wait a minute. Now, pumpkin pie blizzard? No, wait. I didn't.
I know.
He said, "I don't really like pumpkin pie."
You just changed things. You just changed things there. Yeah.
in fact, that will be the next one.
Pumpkin
Maybe.
pie.
That was good.
Pumpkin pie with some Cool Whipper or vanilla
Oh.
ice cream, and you're there's a nap coming up pretty
Oh
soon.
yeah,
Just say
it's
it.
awesome.
Yep. All right. Trick or treat. The multiplier rule for classifications.
That's a trick.
I think it could be a treat if done correctly.
Correct.
If it,
That is
how
my
it's-
answer.
How
So-
how it sits is a
So
treat.
ironic you bringing this up. Me and Matt Dukes talked about this today with the multiplier and the possible coming up with the new
Classification
point
stuff.
system and all that. That it's it starts any kid that comes in before 5th grade
Mm-hmm.
and before it doesn't, the
Doesn't
multiplier
count.
doesn't count.
Right.
Anybody after 5th grade. The problem that like our school system has are special needs population.
Right.
Because of what our school
Offers.
Right.
offers.
Yep.
That's the thing.
Can't hold us
So-
accountable for that.
No, so you need to look at the reason the kid came to the school, not so much they
Yep.
can play.
And that tags into exactly what Bryce was saying. To me, I think this has been a step in the right direction, but to get it right, you need to count the kids that are competing.
In athletics, yeah.
And if you've got a kid, again, now how many times have we said this? How many times have we had a student come in from outside Thomas County to come into the broadcasting program because it wasn't offered anywhere else?
So you hold the whole school accountable.
You're going to hold the whole school accountable, and especially for kids, again, special needs kids that are coming from Colquitt County, for example, that don't have the services there that they're going to get in Thomas County. To me, you got to find the kids that are competing.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that should count.
And
I get
I'm
the
A-okay with
possibility
that.
that can compete, but you
And
have
I'm
the kids
good
that
with it.
can't compete at all.
Right, but if you're from out of district and you're
Yeah.
competing, and I don't care if you're special needs,
Yeah.
because we have special needs
Oh,
kids
yeah,
that are competing in every
100%.
sport.
Absolutely.
They count. But if they're not competing, they shouldn't count, flat out. And the athletic departments and the athletic directors they would be held accountable for being accurate on those
For
numbers.
knowing their kids.
Yep,
If they're listed on any kind of roster, you multiply it. I'm A-okay with that.
yep,
Me too.
100%. Yep. Let's see here. One day before the season ends, would y'all consider doing a live interview like Friday Night Lights did with the main people in charge?
They wouldn't talk to us.
Yeah, I could get Robin Hines for sure. I could definitely get him to talk. to us.
Robin Hines would probably sit down and
Oh, he'd be happy to come in.
and that would be
Yeah,
that would be a highlight for him.
I'll reach out to Robin about that.
And I know that a lot of people sit on the fence with Robin because of the stuff that's happened over the years.
It's not all him now.
But
Yeah.
Robin probably managed it the best way he could.
And he
must have done a heck of a job.
He did a fantastic job
So,
leading the Georgia High School Association.
absolutely.
Period. Now you can complain about this little thing or that little thing. Anytime you're in a leadership position, you're going to be subject to be complained about. Just the bottom line.
That's
so,
right.
Robin, please understand. Again, we're fans. All right, trick or treat. Circus peanuts.
Treat.
The marshmallow peanuts. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, no. Trick. What? No. The big orange peanut.
The big orange.
No, that's a trick. You can
Yeah.
It's a
keep that.
it's a
That's
super
terrible.
sweet marshmallow, like a little bit stale
They're
marshmallow.
terrible.
I can't do
What's
it.
your
either.
problem? Stale marshmallow.
No, I don't like cowtails.
Nope.
Oh, I just ate one. I just ate one.
He likes them because they're orange.
Good.
Yeah,
That's probably the only orange that
I'm,
gets to
I'm
the
with.
finish
I'm
line.
tricking there.
I'm tricking too.
I'm
Tricking.
I understand that.
But there's a lot of folks who do love them. All right, last trick or treat. You ready?
Yep.
Trick or treat. Picking glitter up off the opposition's field by hand.
That's a trick. Y'all
I
know where I
know
spend.
some
You know
people
where I
that-
spend. But I'm gonna tell you, I went ahead and put the bug in Jake's ear. I said, "Hey, we need 2 of them little sucking blowers.
Not the sucking blowers.
They
Reverse
make the
leaf
things
blower.
out of bag.
yeah. The
We just
reverse
need to
leaf
have
blower.
a couple and whoop, we'll be done with it.
For those who don't know what happened,
Ooh, poor.
the other night at Houston County, our team and our coaches, or well, not the coaches, but the
Got a
team.
new little tradition there.
Yeah, they fire off these glitter cannons to celebrate a victory. Well, Houston County didn't want the glitter on the field, so our coaches' wives, the athletic director's
And his
family,
wife,
the
yep.
superintendent
Oh yeah.
were down on their hands,
Board members.
board members on their hands and knees, scraping glitter up with their hands, making these little piles of glitter
Well, now
to clean the
there's
field.
a
up.
lot of confetti too.
Confetti
mixed in
and
with
glitter.
that.
I get it. I get it. But I have never in my life seen that.
But it would have been okay had it been gone about a little different. I think the
way it was approached.
the way they approached us about it
Yeah.
was. I'm telling you, I'll go ahead and tell you. I think Coach DePlantis was aggravated
Yeah. Yeah.
about the way
having the week before
it was.
Yeah.
Because he
And-
did it the
and
way
Well, he
I
was
thought-
out there doing it by himself.
And I
the week
talked to
Even
before.
his
Miss
son said last
DePlantis, and
week.
she said that
or week before last.
they had to pick it up for.
North
I
side.
want to say Almost. It took
It's
him almost
north side.
2
hours.
It's north side.
North
Yeah,
side.
north
Yeah.
side.
Because he was the
So-
only one out there doing
Yeah.
it.
Him and his
And-
2 sons were the only 2 doing it.
Well, here's the
So-
thing too. Why I say that is up there. Instead of paying a crew to come in and clean the stands, the students stay after the game
Yeah.
and they clean the stands, sweep them,
Yep.
and stuff like that.
Yep.
Well,
And that I
to
know
their
that's
credit.
different than the field.
well, they need to have blowers.
Yeah.
Yep. No doubt.
Yeah.
Before we get out of here, and it's 8:20,
I'm
and
hard,
that's
man.
it for
I'm
trick or
hard,
treat.
man.
That's it for
Okay.
trick or treat. I want to play this little clip that
Okay.
we talked about earlier, and we don't have a flashback tonight, but in the D. Reddick this week is the subject of the senior football interview for the Tailgate Show. And Josie Walden, who is our czarina of the Tailgate Show, asked D a question that I think all of our fans need to hear the response for. So let's hear that.
So, if you had to tell Thomas County one thing, what is the one thing that you would tell Thomas County? It could be anything.
I love y'all so much. I love the support. I love everything y'all done for me, Rubo. Even from the students, the support is different out here. And if you're not a Thomas County Central, y'all make sure you come up here and be one. It's a great atmosphere out here.
That I thought that was really cool. You just don't hear high school kids or teenagers saying that sort of thing. So clearly, what the fans and what the program and the school, the administration, and everybody that has supported these young men, they've noticed, and it has absolutely impacted them to the core. No question.
I will honestly say that is about as low key as you'll ever hear.
D. Reddick.
Reddick.
Yep. No doubt.
He's the definition of passion on Friday.
He
night.
is a very passionate.
Yeah, but I that was a heartfelt answer.
Absolutely.
And
man.
I think our fans, especially with the big football game kind of staring you in the face and maybe a little bit of a challenge for our fans. I think the Coffee County folks feel like they're going to come down here and kind of take our stadium over, which is what they've kind of established
They've been talking about
as their mode of operation.
we shall see.
Sending several fan buses. And I know we've had a lot of folks that have been sitting at home the last handful of weeks, but you need to get your rear end out there tomorrow night and be in the stands.
It's going to be perfect night for high school playoff football.
Low 60s, high
Good weather.
50s. Yep, going to be just right. Guys, let's get out of here. Thank you.
Man,
Thank you, Bryce.
Yes, sir.
And trick or treat to everybody.
Absolutely.
Trick or treat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or trick or treat.
All right.
Trick or
Happy
treat.
Halloween.
Keep teachers in your prayers tomorrow.
Oh,
'cause,
yeah. And thanks to Dairy Queen one more time. We
Hey.
appreciate you guys as always.
Hey, I had me a Mountain Dew too.
Yeah. Talking about not going to sleep tonight. My gosh. Thank you, Casey Massey. Thanks to y'all for watching. We'll be on the air tomorrow evening, 5:30 with the Tailgate Show, 6:30 live from the stadium. Bring your radios inside the stadium, 88.5 FM. And if you're not going to make it, make sure you get on the live stream. But we hope to see you there for Thomas County Central and Coffee. Historic night in the Jackets Nest. We'll see you.